Well, it's finally happened. Some really good news for Beyond Meat, and already we can see the stock taking off in a way we haven't seen in a long time. And we're going to talk about why that is. Well, one of the reasons is that the stock just got upgraded by one of the analysts out there. But I would also speculate it has something to do with Oatly. So that's what we're going to talk about here on the PlantStock channel tonight. But we're also going to talk about a little interesting news regarding some animal activists actually holding up for McDonald's in the UK and protesting that they want them to go plant-based by 2025. And I'm thinking it's on a global scale. So we'll also talk about that. But before we get into the news, I would, as always, appreciate an early thumbs up since it does help spread the video to more people. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do that. And don't forget that bell button. Thank you, folks. I truly appreciate your help. So the stock market has been open about 1.5 hours. And we can see ticker symbol BYND that is up already around 11%. Looking really good. See it shooting up here. It's been a while, right? So what is going on? Well, we're going to talk about that. Beyond Meat shares leap on buy the dip double upgrade from Bernstein. So Bernstein analyst Alexia Howard sees the potential for a significant increase in food service sales for Beyond Meat amid a double upgrade of the plant-based food group. So that's excellent news, obviously. So they've actually changed their rating and put it at a price target of $130. And the reasons for that is obviously, as we've talked about, that she can see that probably Rona is going to toggle down and restaurants will start to open up again. But also in part of, as we've talked about many times on this channel, that Beyond Meat and their recent partnerships with Mickey D, right? Yum Brands, which includes, as we talked about, Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Taco Bell, right? And these deals are on a global scale. And obviously one of the biggest things here is with the PepsiCo, where they're going to help them make some new beverages, whatever that might be, and some healthy snacks. So obviously they do understand that this is going to be big long term. And if you're familiar with this channel, we all know that they've had a rough time now the last couple of months, and especially when they had their Q1 report. As we know, their sales for Q1 fell on U.S. food service about 26% and 44% internationally. Yet, U.S. retail sales actually rose with 28%, while international raised about a staggering almost 200%, 189%. But also we know that there's some good news in the future because the company actually believes, and some analysts out there agrees with them, that we could expect a forecast between 135 to 150 million for Q2, which would be a 32% increase year over year. So yes, I do believe that this is one of the bigger reasons probably why the stock is up so much today, and it's looking good. And I think we have one other reason. So let's take a look at the other reason that I believe, and that's the Oatly group, right? The Swedish plant-based alternative company that basically makes products out of oat. And it actually was down, I think, about 5% before, but now, yeah, around 4 to 5% as of yet. And I think we might be seeing some of those people actually eyeing Beyond Meat now. And why is that? Why I think is quite obvious to some extent, even though I'm very excited about Oatly as well. Look at that market cap, around 13 billion. And then we have the market cap of Beyond Meat, about 7.5, but it's actually been under 7 for quite some time now. And that's quite interesting because if you compare these two companies, I mean, they have different products as of yet, but both are plant-based, right? And I would say that it is likely that people start thinking like, this is almost double, right? Both of them have about the same annual sales, which is around $400 million, right? And that makes actually Beyond Meat look more attractive because from a PA's ratio, right? We talk about that, price to sales. Oatly is around between 25 to 30, but they've been around 30 in PS ratio, right? That's pretty high. It's not so super strange because it's a super disruptive company, a growth company, but still around 25 to 30 in PS ratio. And right now, Beyond Meat is trading normally around 15 to 16 in PS ratio. So it looks, from a value perspective, a lot more interesting, I think, to a lot of people. And even though Oatly is a large company that sells at around 90,000 locations in the world, about 60,000 stores and 30,000 coffee shops, still Beyond Meat is more between 120 to 130,000, and it's been out there longer on a global scale. I mean, Oatly has existed way longer, about 27 years, but Beyond Meat, again, as a brand internationally, and it's a plant meat alternative, has been known quite some time longer, right? So I think it's reasonable to say that there are probably quite a lot of investors there today that starts thinking, whoa, all of a sudden, if we should be invested in a huge plant-based company, then Beyond Meat, on paper at least, looks more interesting from a value perspective, which is also interesting, right? Because I do believe a lot of people probably believes that considering the market cap now, we could probably see in the next couple of months Oatly go down quite a lot. Not to say I'm invested in both, and I do believe that Oatly is going to do great long term. But I think if people are short term, or they're just thinking 1 year or 2 years to 3 years, I do understand that they would think that considering the McDonald's deal, the Yum Brands deal, the PepsiCo deals, that this looks more attractive. So that's just me. Folks, what do you believe? You think this is a possibility? Let me know down below. And then if we just end this with moving on to some kind of interesting news here, is that recently UK activist group blocks 4 McDonald's distribution sites, calls for transition to plant-based food. So this is an activist group, Animal Rebellion, and what they're trying to achieve is to get people to wake up, basically. That they want our attention, that the role that raising livestock, as we talked about many times on this channel, plays in the climate change, and is pushing McDonald's to transform into an all plant-based company by 2025. If I understand this correctly, I don't think they mean only these 4. I don't think they mean only the 1,300 that they have in the UK. I'm thinking they're hoping for a global change here. And according to this article, protesters are using trucks and bamboo structures to disrupt McDonald's supply chain. And again, this is what they state, that it's just a symbol of a much bigger problem, the entire animal agriculture industry. And some of you might ask yourself, how is this related to Beyond Meat? Well, we know that they have some deals now coming up that's on a global scale, but also they co-created a plant-based patty that became the McPlant before, right? So, and they've actually started a little here in the UK not long ago. So folks, let me know down in the comments, what do you feel about this? What these animal activists have done with these 4 McDonald's distribution centers. Do you think it's okay to behave that way? I'm interested to know what you feel about that. But I do agree with their sentiment for sure. Considering that, as we've talked, and we know that from the UN reports, there's nothing that destroys the sustainability on the planet more than animal agriculture. And being one of the largest companies in the world, like McDonald's, with thousands of restaurants all over the world, they are a huge problem of this as well. Now, is it possible that they would go plant-based with time? I don't know. By 2025, I don't see that as very realistic. I would be really happy, of course, if that happened for the planet, for the animals, and for our health. But right now, I don't think that is possible. But I could see it happening in the future, no doubt. And that would obviously make it perfectly placed for a company like Beyond Meat. But I've actually heard that there is one or a few restaurants in India, McDonald's restaurants, that are plant-based. So I guess it's not impossible that we could see that development long term. All right. That was it for today, folks. I truly hope you got some value from today's video. And if you did, make sure to smash that like button and help me out. And if you want to keep getting more information regarding Beyond Meat, Tattoo Chef, the Very Good Food Company, to name a few, make sure to subscribe and don't forget that bell button. Thank you, folks. I truly appreciate your help. And as always, do not forget, this was not financial advice. It's important to do your own due diligence and invest safe. Hope to see you soon. Have a lovely Monday. Peace out.